Welcome back to the show. We're sitting here at the beautiful Gravity House, and we're going to talk about some very special things here. Alps and Meters, which is a clothing line that you're going to want to get your hands on, and we have one of their fabulous ambassadors with us, Ryan Cochran-Siegle. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So you're here for Birds of Prey, which is really exciting because this is one of the few stops on the North American tour.
Yeah, I mean, I think as Americans, we always love being here. It's kind of our home race, and we have some good history, so it'll be an exciting weekend.
And now you're an ambassador for this incredible company behind us, and you can see the apparel is so nice. And so what is Alps and Meters, and what makes it stand out against some of the other luxury brands?
Yeah, so I think, Alps and Meters is based in traditional alpine wear. You want to wear it on the hill and off the hill, having that functionality. And it's really just about storytelling, both the pieces that are made and I think the people that are part of the brand. And it's been a really fun ride to be a part of.
And so what made you decide to partner with them, and what do you love specifically about them as a brand?
I think as a ski racer, we're kind of just so zoned in on like being in training venues, being in race courses, and I think Alps and Meters they've allowed me to really express myself outside of that. I think it's a lot of timeless pieces and, really into that like cozy après style and wear that you get to wear off the hill. I also enjoy skiing on the hill too when I'm, out free skiing and whatnot. But it's for those that like to have fun and like to look good while doing it.
Which I think is definitely what this brand captures as a whole. And so if people are looking to find the brand inside Gravity House, what line can they find?
Yeah, so they have the High West line, which is really just for kind of ski culture in the Rockies. It's about, the cultures of Park City or Jackson or places like Vail, where skiing is so rooted in the culture in these towns, and being kind of true to that look, and then also having a unique perspective as well.
And so why would you recommend that people in Vail come in and get their hands on this amazing apparel?
I think it's the versatility. I mean, I think you look good when you're wearing it. It's super cozy, like this sweater is very nice. But then it's also when you can bring it out on the hill, and it's that dual function of looking good while skiing, getting some cool, cute photos out there, and then coming in and having a beer with your friends.
Which I was looking through some of the apparel, and having down, especially as we've been seeing those cooler temperatures, it makes all of the difference out there on the mountain. So let's shift gears a little bit. We're here in Gravity House. There's some great amenities. We were kind of going through some of them earlier. The yoga here is amazing. And is that something that you practice pretty regularly with your sport?
I don't practice it enough. Honestly, it was a goal of mine to do it more regularly. But I love yoga. I think I'm not a very flexible person, so I'm incredibly challenged when I do it, but I always feel amazing when I walk out. And I think it's so good for your body to get moving, to be pushed in certain ways, and it's a healthy aspect of a good lifestyle.
And then here in the Gravity House, so many amenities. Not only do they have the yoga, but they have the state-of-the-art dry land where you can get down there and you can really train for maybe some big upcoming races.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool dynamic. I think it gives you, everything you need as both an athlete and I think just a general, active person.
And then you can top it off with the amazing restaurant that they have here, which is Slope Room, which is just right upstairs. It has delicious food, and their big thing is being more sustainable and friendlier to our environment. Yeah,
and it sounds like it's, direct farm to, the table you're sitting at. And I think being able to have that connection and understanding where your food is coming from is, I think, so critical, especially, as we progress as a society going forward. We need to be very conscious of, the habits we're taking part in and what we're doing as people, because it has a huge impact in the future.
It does have a huge impact. Now, let's talk a little bit about the snow conditions right now, because you ran some gates earlier, you did some training. Now the big competition is right around the corner. Anything that you're nervous for as you're gearing up to ski for the Xfinity Birds of Cup?
It's funny, in the start today, sometimes I get nervous, sometimes I don't. I don't know if it was what I ate. I was definitely feeling something in my stomach. But that being said, I think I'm just looking forward to a fun weekend. They usually do an incredible job preparing the slope, and it's a really cool track to ski. Whether you've been to Birds of Prey or not, or Beaver Creek, it's definitely a track to kind of witness and see how we ski down it. So looking forward to having a lot of fun. I think, hopefully praying for good weather.
Right.
But yeah, it'll be a cool experience.
And now let's talk a little bit about your long-term career. So what is the biggest challenge that you faced thus far in your career?
That's a good question. I think as an athlete, injury is always kind of, present, and I think we've all come back from different injuries. So, I've had a pretty bad knee injury. I had a neck injury 2 seasons ago too. So it's kind of, battling that willingness to push your body beyond, your comfort zone. And the times when I've been skiing the fastest is, when I'm in that zone. So in order to have success, you really do have to put yourself out there, but that always comes with risks and consequences as well. So
it's always those give or take moments
absolutely.
Where you're like, this could be really bad if something goes wrong, but I'm so confident in where I am that's when you are striving. And now, what are some of the biggest successes that you've seen throughout your career?
I mean, on the results page, I've had a few good ones. I was able to win a World Cup in the 2021 season. I just came off an Olympic medal in Beijing as well. Those are definitely the highlights from, non-results based. I think it's just the feeling and the idea I have of when my best skiing is, and those experiences too, that I think will further help me continue to have success.
And now, as we're looking forward for the rest of the season, anything else besides Beaver Creek that you're really looking forward to on your tour that you're going to be doing?
I would say I enjoy skiing every venue we go to. There are definitely ones that are kind of in, a little bit more important to me, or I guess highlighted, Bormio. We have races in Italy right after Christmas, and it's a fun hill. I've definitely had some good success there. And then moving into January, the World Cup Classics with Kitzbühel and Wengen. And then last we have World Championships in Courchevel. So there's a lot of races, and every week's important, but some stick out more than others.
Which is so incredible. And then, of course, you have some big inspirations and some big sponsors that have gotten you to the point that you're at now. So is there anyone that you want to say thank you to?
Yeah, I mean, first off, probably Alps and Meters. They've given me a lot of support these last 3 seasons. My main equipment sponsor, Head Skis and Boots, they provide the service and the equipment that I need to send it down the hill fast. I should shout out to my cousins, Untapped, my personal maple syrup provider. And then Smith Optics, actually, they've been huge in the last few years too. So I think I really hope I'm not missing anyone else. It's a good list. Erica?
It is a solid.
Swix, yeah, my pulse supplier, and ASP. They, keep me pushing down the hill fast. And I think also Wintersteger. The last 2 seasons we've been partnered, and the support that all of these brands gives, I think, it helps me kind of go out the start and feel supported and allow myself to go out there and ski fast.
Now, my favorite question to ask any and every athlete that we have the chance to talk to is, if you could give yourself as a younger version one piece of advice, what would it have been?
I think focus on the aspects that you're best at and rely as little as possible on what other skiers are doing. I think to develop the best skier that you can be, it's really keying on those little things that you do well, and really just building upon that. I think it's also really hard in competitive sports. You're always trying to compare yourself to others, and really when it's all said and done, it's so much more important about the work you're doing to yourself and what that's building.
Which I think is so important, and I think it's so important that all the young athletes of the world, and especially those that are maybe getting into ski racing, hear that, because it is such a highly competitive sport, and you are standing on some of the biggest stages in the world. You've got eyes on you from every angle, and so to just sit back and enjoy your sport and remember that it's you on that snow and get out there and just try your hardest is really important.
Absolutely, and have fun.
And have so much fun, especially when the snow is good, but not ruining the race conditions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ryan, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, giving us all this great information, and sharing one of your newest partnership deals with us.
Thank you, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Make sure that you come in to Gravity House and you check out the incredible collection of clothing in here, because you're going to want to get your hands on it. I know I've been eyeballing that jacket since we sat down. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned.